Welcome back to also cybersecurity episodes with Cyber Queen. Today we're exploring compliance made easy. We'll talk about how Microsoft 365 helps your business to stay on track. Compliance can often feel overwhelming, with businesses needing to juggle regulatory requirements, manage risks, and protect sensitive data. But don't worry, Microsoft 365 makes this process far simpler than you might think. Hi, I'm Venicia. I'm the founder of Cyber Queen, a cloud security architect and a Microsoft MVP. Together with Also, we bring you cybersecurity insights packed with the latest news and diverse perspectives. Now, Also is running a series of webinars focused on security, where you can dive deeper into Microsoft solutions and hear directly from industry experts. The security series includes both on-demand videos and live webinars. You'll find the links to the webinars and other learning opportunities down in the description. So make sure to register and take full advantage of these learning opportunities. And as always, definitely make sure to check out the Also Cloud Marketplace for more insights. All right, now let's simplify compliance and governance with Microsoft 365, starting with why compliance matters and diving into practical tools to make it manageable. Regulatory compliance ensures that your business operates within legal and ethical boundaries, protecting both your reputation and your customers. Now, non-compliance can lead to large fines, data breaches, and reputational damage. Let's look at an example of this. So imagine you're running a healthcare business bound by GDPR or HIPAA. Without proper compliance measures, a single data breach could expose sensitive patient data, leading to fines or loss of trust. Alright, now let's look at how you can get started with managing the compliance. So Microsoft Purview Compliance Manager is your compliance dashboard. It simplifies tracking, managing, and meeting regulatory requirements with pre-built templates for regulations like GDPR, HIPAA, and ISO 27001. Now you can use it for a few different scenarios. One is assessment creation. So you can start by selecting templates that are relevant specifically to your industry. Then you can use it for a task assignment. So you can assign compliance tasks to relevant team members. Then you can also use it for tracking your improvement actions. So you can follow actionable recommendations to improve your compliance scores over time. Let's say you own an SMB handling financial transactions. Compliance Manager can highlight gaps in your PCI DSS compliance and guide you towards resolution. So this will ensure that your business actually remains audit ready and you don't have a huge gap and management overhead when it comes to the time for auditing your compliance requirements. Alright, now understanding the compliance features that are available in the Microsoft 365 E3 and E5 plans is really important for selecting the right fit for your organization. So first, let's take a deep dive into the E3 compliance features. Firstly, you get core e-discovery. So this is the basic tools used to search and hold content across Microsoft 365. Then there's DLP, data loss prevention, which provides policies to prevent sharing of sensitive information. Then there's information protection, so where you can have manual labeling of sensitive data. And then auditing, so access to standard audit logs for tracking user activities. When it comes to E5, we see some of the evolution of, firstly, of course, having everything included that is already in E3, but with advanced discovery. So enhanced tools for legal investigations, including data analysis and export capabilities. Then there is also the insider risk management. This is used to detect and mitigate internal risks. Then we have communication compliance. So you are able to monitor and manage communications to ensure policy adherence. Then we move from basic auditing to advanced auditing. So you have access to more detailed audit logs with longer retention periods. Then there's also manual labeling and classification. Now in E5 you move towards automatic data classification, where you have the ability to use machine learning to classify sensitive data. And then customer key. Now with E5 you have the ability to keep your own key and have control over your organization's encryption keys. Now, the E5 plan includes all of the E3 compliance features plus advanced tools. So for a detailed comparison, you can reference Microsoft's compliance and licensing documentation. All right, now let's look at some of the best practices to stay compliant without the management overhead. Now, firstly, you can look at automating your compliance. So in this case, you can use Microsoft Purview Information Protection to classify and protect sensitive data automatically. Next, you can implement DLP, so data loss prevention policies, to restrict sharing of sensitive information outside of your organization. As an example here, you can prevent employees from accidentally emailing social security numbers or ID numbers to external addresses by using DLP rules. Now, to prevent this from actually happening, when an employee attempts to send an email containing IDs or social security numbers, the DLP policy can trigger an alert, redirecting the email for a review to automatically block this type of transmission in your organization. This ensures that sensitive data is protected without requiring manual oversight and therefore also reducing the risk of data breaches and maintaining compliance with regulatory requirements. The next action that you can take is to actually enable secure access. You can apply conditional access policies to enforce multi-factor authentication for accessing sensitive systems. You can also use Microsoft Entra ID to streamline and secure your identity management processes. Now, as an example here, an employee could be logging in from an unknown location. In this case, the employee would be prompted for an additional verification. This will make sure that only those that are authorized actually have access. Now, for instance, if your employee attempts to access the company's financial system from a new device or an unusual geographic location, the system can automatically require them to provide additional authentication steps like entering a code that's sent to their phone or responding to a specific security question. This multi-layered approach to security not only protects sensitive data from unauthorized access, but also helps to detect and respond to potential security threats in near real time, ensuring compliance with organizational policies and in turn regulatory requirements. Alright, now the next action you can take is to actually educate and train your team. Educate your employees about compliance risks and tools like self-service password resets to reduce the overall IT strain while also improving security. As an example here, you can utilize annual phishing simulations and awareness training to decrease incidents of accidental compliance breaches. So by running these simulations, employees are exposed to realistic scenarios, helping them to recognize and avoid potential threats. And then in addition to this, you can incorporate up-to-date compliance modules and regular workshops, which ensures that employees are continuously educated on the latest regulations and best practices. This really shifts your organization to a more proactive approach, and it not only helps to mitigate the likelihood of data breaches, but also creates and fosters a culture of security awareness in the organization, ultimately supporting that overall larger compliance strategy. Now, Microsoft 365 doesn't just help with compliance, it actively strengthens your governance framework. In the case of auditing and reporting tools, Compliance Manager provides detailed audit trails and reports, making it easier to demonstrate compliance during an audit. Then there is also centralized data governance. So tools like Microsoft Purview helps to ensure that data is managed responsibly across its entire life cycle, from creation to deletion. Let's look at a scenario where you are trying to manage compliance in a retail business. So imagine a retail business is handling a substantial amount of customer data. With GDPR in effect, compliance is really important. In this case, the business uses Microsoft 365's Compliance Manager to track GDPR requirements, conduct data protection impact assessments, and manage data subject requests. And it also uses 365 to document data processing activities. Compliance Manager enables quick responses to data subject requests, ensuring that the business meets these regulatory deadlines and continuously maintains customer trust. Then the auditing and reporting capabilities can simplify compliance during those massive audit time periods to give you and your team peace of mind. By using Compliance Manager, the retail business ensures GDPR compliance, it enhances data governance and reduces data breach risks, and overall creates and fosters that customer trust. Now, compliance doesn't have to be intimidating or a management nightmare. Microsoft 365's Compliance Manager, advanced E5 tools, and practical governance features empower SMBs to manage regulatory requirements effectively while still reducing risk. Do remember to check out the Also links in the description and get access to the webinar series and the Also Readiness platform, as well as the Also Cloud Marketplace. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay vigilant and stay secure.